Mr. Chair, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I will not dwell too much on reiterating the reasons for urgent action. As a preliminary remark, I would like to highlight that urgent action in the face of climate change is no longer a theoretical matter derived from complex scientific models. It is in fact well and truly present today and measurable from the number of stakeholders from our society. Further, reasons for changing the energy model are not only climate-related. They are manifold and just as urgent. The pressure of urban development, the energy security of all countries, health problems in dense urban areas, or in households using inefficient stoves of kerosene lamps. To respond to the question, is climate change imperative and urgent, I would like to underscore two aspects. First, each and everyone must be involved to the best of their abilities in this transition. Everyone must act, all countries, all stakeholders. Of course, we understand the priorities of certain countries or stakeholders which are struggling for access to resources and energy, which are seeking to alleviate poverty. The demands of development and ecological and climate demands are getting aligned to push for a more sustainable development. And this is due to three pieces of good news. First, awareness at a high level. The UNGA summit in New York helped mobilize heads of states, autonomous bodies, and companies. Next, the fact that we possess all the technologies for a successful transition. And lastly, the third good news is that we are realizing that this crisis is an opportunity to be seized, with not only long-term benefits, which we know about since the publication of the Stern report, but also in the short term, because we have started to adopt good approaches, good technologies, good investors who have embarked on these new fields. The case of renewable energy is exemplary. Solar panels and wind turbines are now competitive and are generating jobs. But there are also the real economic gains and energy efficiency, demand management, smart grids, clean vehicles that directly reduce respiratory disorders in our megacities, and the circular economy that transforms old waste into new products. Let us take the French example. I am currently pushing for a bill on energy transition for green growth in our parliament. This law sets ambitious goals for France, such as the reduction by 40% of greenhouse gases by 2030, or making the share of renewable 32% of our energy mix. The obligation to act for better protecting our environment should not be seen as an imposition or a burden, but as an opportunity, a chance to innovate, to develop new activities, and generate employment. Consuming less energy means greater purchasing power to households while cutting our energy imports. It means generating thousands of jobs in renewable energy, new energy technology in construction, in urban planning, and all these industrial sectors of green growth. In a nutshell, this revolution is a chance, a solution to poverty, if developed countries want to help transfer the know-hows acquired by their administrations and companies, and if the Green Climate Fund works. It is also the post-2015 Sustainable Development Strategy that is being currently renegotiated and for which energy and climate transition is at the core of most goals. The second aspect that I wish to underscore is that to be able to fight climate change, we must have an agreement that is useful for all. But this must also be a fair agreement. France will host the COP21. This conference, which will build on the results of the previous ones, here I would like to acknowledge the presence of my Polish colleague on the panel, as well as that of Peru, with whom we have been working hand in hand for several months now. So this conference will be a historic opportunity for us to fix common goals so as to regain control for our destiny and give ourselves the legal and operational means to do this. The text of the legal agreement, which is due to be concluded in Paris, will not be only key for realizing the ambitions of keeping warming below 2 degrees Celsius. We feel that 4 constituents are complementary for sending economic and political signals that our development model is on a new trajectory. The first is the agreement, the legal framework for the post-2020 regime of the Climate Convention. The Lima decisions are a foundation for this work. The second is the intending nationally determined contribution of the parties to the convention. All these countries are invited to present their contributions well ahead of the COP21, if possible, in the very first quarter. The third is a set of financial initiatives that provide greater clarity on the mobilization of public and private financing sources for climate actions. The Green Fund was capitalized as over 10 billion USD. This is a beginning, but this is not enough. The overall financial architecture must help support of a low carbon and resilient development of our economy, as well as respond to the investment needs required for growth and the modernization of our energy systems. The fourth, at last, constituent is a solutions agenda that will accelerate immediate action for the climate. We need varied initiatives which go beyond the traditional institutional frameworks, associating both governmental and non-governmental actors in partnerships in all the key areas of climate action. This is a process initiated by the UN Secretary General's Climate Summit and the Lima Action Plan in Paris, launched by France and Peru. I hope that this panel discussion will help us concretely illustrate the imperative need for action by each and everyone and the way to optimize the use of different international tools and strengthen multilateral cooperation as well as domestic action. And I would like to tell you some French word to insist on several points. Tout d'abord, je voudrais remercier les organisateurs de cette formidable session ici à Delhi.
I would like to first of all thank all the organizers for this great session in Delhi.
Et tout spécialement le docteur Pachauri.
And especially Dr. Pachauri.
Parce que en venant ici avec le ministre des Affaires étrangères français,
because I've come here with the foreign minister from France.
Nous avons pris toute la mesure du formidable potentiel qui existe en Inde.
We understand the great potential that exists in India.
Et aussi du vaste mouvement qui est en train de se passer.
And the great movement that has been launched here.
La France est très soucieuse et le président de la République français est très soucieux de réussir la conférence de Paris sur le climat.
France and the French president are very keen to ensure that the climate conference in Paris is a success.
Et nous allons mettre toute notre énergie pour le réussir.
And we are going to put all our energy in place to make sure it's a success.
Et nous avons besoin d'être aidés par tous les grands pays du monde, et notamment par l'Inde, qui est en train de s'engager dans un nouveau modèle énergétique.
And we need the help of all countries of the world, in particular India, which is launching on a new energy model.
Nous avons pris la mesure, et j'ai moi-même inauguré une installation, une centrale photovoltaïque hier, en coopération franco-indienne.
Yesterday, I inaugurated a solar unit in Punjab, which is a photovoltaic unit, which has been set up with Indo-French cooperation.
Là, je reviens d'une université axée essentiellement sur le développement durable, avec des jeunes qui sont très motivés par la conférence de Paris.
And this morning, I visited the Terry University, which is dedicated to sustainable development, and the young students there are very enthusiastic about the Paris Climate Conference.
Mes équipes ont participé hier au groupe de travail sur les 100 Smart Cities, le projet du gouvernement indien.
Yesterday, my teams attended a workshop on the 100 Smart Cities, which is the Government of India project.
Et ce que je constate, c'est que entre la théorie qui nous a fait parfois penser qu'il y avait un fossé considérable entre les différents continents sur cette question du climat,
And I've seen that though theoretically they say there is a big difference between the different continents on the issue of climate,
je me rends compte au contraire qu'il y a des convergences très très fortes et que les forces vives de pays même très éloignés de la France, comme ici en Inde. Je suis très heureuse d'avoir pu constater ça personnellement, que tout le monde est en mouvement, les citoyens, les ONG, les entreprises, les chercheurs, les scientifiques, les savants. Nous avons assisté avant-hier à un panel sur des prix Nobel, le prix Nobel de la paix, le prix Nobel taïwanais, le prix Nobel de la paix indien, le prix Nobel taïwanais de chimie, avec un dialogue avec Pachauri. Nous avons fait un duplex avec Ban Ki-moon, et on se rend compte qu'est en train de se lever une conscience mondiale qui est de bon augure pour les négociations de Paris.
So I see that there are, on the contrary, very strong convergences in the way we think about this issue. And though countries are very far away physically from France, I've personally seen the great energy to protect our climate. We've had a session here which had the Nobel Prize winner for peace from India, the Nobel Prize winner for chemistry from Taiwan. Dr. Pachauri was here. We had a live broadcast by Mr. Ban Ki-moon from the United Nations. So we can really see this whole energy getting in place, and the success of the conference is going to greatly depend on this.
Alors, bien sûr, il y a encore beaucoup de travail, et notamment sur la question financière. Il est évident que les pays en développement ont besoin que les pays industrialisés prennent des décisions et des engagements clairs sur la question financière. Et je souhaite que ce problème-là, nous souhaitons au sein du gouvernement français, et le président de la République française souhaite que ce problème-là soit réglé avant l'été pour que les négociations de fond puissent s'engager.
So there's still a lot to be done, and especially on the area of finance. The developing countries need finance from the developed countries, and hence France and the President of France really wants to ensure that the issue of finance is solved well before the conference in summer.
Je suis optimiste, nous sommes optimistes, et quand en revenant d'Inde, quelques jours passés en Inde, mon optimisme s'est renforcé, même si j'ai parfaitement conscience de la tâche qui nous attend tous pour aboutir à l'accord.
I am an optimist, and my couple of days in India have made me even more optimistic. I know that there is a lot to be done for the Paris conference, but I'm optimistic we can do it.
Parce que je constate que nous sommes en phase, quelles que soient nos philosophies, nos itinéraires, nos expériences, nos enracinements. Il y a quelque chose qui est en train de se passer, et je crois que ce qui est en train de se passer, c'est une prise de conscience morale, au sens le plus noble du terme. Et comme le disait hier le prix Nobel de la paix, qui se demandait si face à ses petits-enfants et il pourra leur dire, les yeux dans les yeux, nous avons tout essayé. Et je crois que cette question-là, nous nous la posons tous.
So we are seeing something happening, whether it is whatever may be our philosophy, whatever may be our experiences, whatever may be our origins, there is an awareness that is coming about, and in the most noble moral sense of the word. Yesterday, the Peace Prize winner, Mr. Satyarthi, said, I want to be able to look at children in their eyes and say that we did do everything we could.
Il y a un grand savant en France qui s'appelle Hubert Reeves, qui est astrophysicien, et qui pose la question suivante, est-ce que l'être humain saura-t-il s'adapter à lui-même? Autrement dit, est-ce qu'il saura réparer par son intelligence les dégâts qu'il a commis par négligence, par égoïsme, par esprit de cupidité, lorsque, pendant des générations, il a épuisé les ressources naturelles?
There is a French astrophysicist who says, can human beings really adapt to themselves? Because they have caused so much damage to the environment due to their own egos, they have depleted natural resources. So can human beings actually adapt to what they themselves have done?
Et donc je remercie une nouvelle fois tous les participants à ce panel et tous ceux qui ont pris la parole. Je vais revenir avec toute cette matière à Paris pour apporter toute cette contribution à la réflexion que nous conduisons, à la fédération des énergies que nous avons engagée. Et je voudrais, pour terminer, dire qu'au fond, on est en train, chacun et tous, de réaliser que cette belle phrase que vous connaissez sans doute, mais qui me guide à chaque fois que je dois prendre la parole et que je dois donner de l'enthousiasme pour dire que nous devons nous mobiliser pour Paris, c'est que tout être humain a deux patries, la sienne et la planète. Et donc si nous arrivons à étendre cette prise de conscience universelle, et notamment à mobiliser les citoyens, qui d'ailleurs commencent à descendre dans la rue, puisqu'au sommet de New York de Ban Ki-moon, avec Ban Ki-moon, nous sommes allés marcher dans la rue, on attendait quelques dizaines de milliers de personnes, et puis il y a eu des centaines de milliers de personnes, et dans le monde entier peuvent se mettre en mouvement des centaines de millions de personnes pour que les dirigeants du monde entier décident de l'avenir de leur patrie, à la fois la leur, avec l'aspiration au développement, l'aspiration à la sortie de la pauvreté, l'aspiration à la sécurité sur tous les plans, et en même temps la protection de notre planète commune, la Terre. Je vous remercie de votre attention.
Thank you very much for all the participants and all the panelists. I'm going to take your thoughts back with me to Paris as we create this federation of energy to ensure the success of the climate conference. And there is one beautiful sentence that always guides me especially when I'm trying to work for this conference, that every human being has two motherlands. One is his country and one is the planet. So we need to mobilize citizens, and we saw this wonderful march in New York. We had Ban Ki-moon, we had millions of people on the street in different countries, and we need to be able to decide the future of our land. We need to solve the issues of poverty and protect our planet.
Thank you.